12. One of the populace. On a cold and rainy winter day, Sarah was sent out again and again to do long and tiresome errands. She got so cold and wet and hungry and tired that her face began to have an unhappy look. She hurried on, trying to make her mind think of something else. It was really very necessary. Her way of doing it was to pretend and suppose with all the strength that was left in her. But really this time it was harder than she had ever found it. But she obstinately walked on and talked to herself as she walked, though she did not speak aloud or even move her lips. Suppose just when I was near a baker's, where they sold hot buns, I should find 6pence which belonged to nobody. Suppose, if I did, I should go into the shop and buy 6 of the hottest buns and eat them all without stopping. Some very odd things happen in this world sometimes. It certainly was an odd thing that happened to Sarah. She had to cross the street just when she was saying this to herself. The mud was dreadful. She had to look down at her feet and the mud, and in looking down, just as she reached the pavement, she saw something shining. It was actually a piece of silver. Not quite a 6pence, but the next thing to it, a 4-penny piece. In 1 second it was in her cold little hand. "Oh," she gasped, "it is true! It is true!" And then, if you will believe me, she looked straight at the shop directly facing her, and it was a baker's shop, and the cheerful, stout, motherly woman with rosy cheeks was putting into the window newly baked hot buns, large, plump, shiny buns. She knew she need not hesitate to use the little piece of money, so she crossed the pavement and put her wet foot on the step. As she did so, she saw something that made her stop. It was a little figure, which was not much more than a bundle of rags, from which she could see small, bare, red, muddy feet. Above the rags appeared a dirty face with big, hungry eyes. Sarah knew they were hungry eyes the moment she saw them, and she felt a sudden sympathy. "This," she said to herself, with a little sigh, "is one of the populace, and she is hungrier than I am." Sarah hesitated a few seconds. Then she spoke to her. "Have you had dinner?" said Sarah. "No dinner," said the child hoarsely. "No breakfast, no supper, no nothing." Just to look at her made Sarah more hungry. "If I'm a princess," she was saying, "when they were poor and driven from their thrones, they always shared with the populace if they met one poorer and hungrier than themselves." "Wait a minute," she said to the beggar child. She went into the shop. It was warm and smelled deliciously. The woman was just going to put some more hot buns into the window. "Do you want to buy something?" she said, as she saw Sarah glance at the buns. "4 buns, if you please," said Sarah. "Those, at a penny each." The woman went to the window and put some in a paper bag. Sarah noticed that she put in 6. I said 4, if you please," she explained. "I have only 4pence." "I'll throw in 2 for make weight," said the woman with her good-natured look. "Aren't you hungry?" "Yes," answered Sarah. "I am very hungry, and I am much obliged to you for your kindness. And," she was going to add, "there is a child outside who is hungrier than I am." But just at that moment 2 or 3 customers came in at once, and each one seemed in a hurry, so she could only thank the woman again and go out. The beggar girl sat in the corner of the step. Sarah opened the paper bag and took out one of the hot buns, which had already warmed her own cold hands a little. "See," she said, giving the bun to the girl, "this is nice and hot. Eat it, and you will not feel so hungry." The child started and stared up at her, as if such sudden, amazing good luck almost frightened her. Then she snatched up the bun and began to cram it into her mouth with great bites. Sarah took out 3 more buns and put them down. She is hungrier than I am, she said to herself. She's starving. But her hand trembled when she put down the 4th bun. I'm not starving, she said, and she put down the 5th. The little London savage didn't even thank Sarah. She was only a poor little wild animal. Goodbye, said Sarah. Sarah found some comfort in her remaining bun. At all events, it was very hot, and it was better than nothing. It was dark when she reached the square where the select seminary was situated. The lights in the houses were all lighted. In the house of the large family, there was a good deal of excitement. It was evident that the father was going to take a journey. A carriage stood before the door. The children were dancing about, chattering and hanging on to their father. The pretty rosy mother was standing near him, talking as if she was asking final questions. I wonder if he will stay away long, Sarah thought. Oh dear, how they will miss him. I shall miss him myself, even though he doesn't know I am alive. When the door opened, she moved away. The traveler came out, followed by the elder children. If you find the little girl, give her our love, shouted the little boy. The father jumped into the carriage, and the children went in and shut the door. Sarah crossed the square to Miss Minchin's area steps, feeling weak. I wonder who the girl is, she thought, the little girl he is going to look for. The father of the large family was driving quickly on his way to the station to take the train to Moscow, where he wanted to find the lost little daughter of Captain Crewe.